felt those things before, and there's a kind of, like, I would say, like an entity that guards it or inhabits that space. I was taught, like, during sweat lodges, when you crawl into a place like this, it's good to remember, like, we came from a place like this, the womb. Feels like a vortex of some kind, maybe a portal. I've had numerous, you could call them paranormal, spiritual experiences throughout my life. I was out here camping with my son, and I've been by Crestone, like I said, probably 2-3 times now. After the loss of a family member, my family had already booked this trip, and while I was in the hotel room during this trip after the death of this family member, I happened to open the drawer for I think a pen or something, right? Well, what do you expect to find in the drawer? A Bible, right? The Book of Mormon, something like that. Inside the drawer was the Pure Land Buddhist tradition. One side was English, the other side was hiragana, katakana in Japanese. And so I was like, what is this? Nice colorful cover with a sunset. Just kind of took me out of my space. Like I had no experience at that point. I think I was probably in 8th grade or something. And so I started reading that. I actually took the book back with me, which I don't know if I should have done or not, but anyway, I did. Ended up finishing the book on the plane, and just opened my eyes completely to the Buddhist tradition. And I think from there, I mean, later on, I got into shamanism, psychedelic traditions, and things like that. Hinduism, Islam, back into Buddhism lately. I think probably there's people like me that they come across these spots where they fall down. You know, you get back up and say, which way am I going? What's the path? It's all about that critical mass of taking this entire plane that we call Earth up a notch and away from the darkness, away from the illusion that it is, if we can, right? I was taught, like, during sweat lodges, when you crawl into a place like this, it's good to remember, like, we came from a place like this, the womb. And so they say, O mitake oyasin. And it's a reference to that kind of concept. So, O mitake oyasin.
Any thoughts?
As soon as you walk in, you can feel the energy. It's like a backward tidal wave. Feels like a vortex of some kind, maybe a portal. I've felt those things before, and there's a kind of, like, I would say, like an entity that guards it or inhabits that space, or that it accompanies it, or maybe more than one. And I feel like as I went back, that I was politely asked to just leave, and that was it. So I didn't push it, in other words.
Well, I say we go then.
What are you guys filming for?
Ascension factor.